Alright guys, we got the car jacked up, we got it up on a jack stand, and we're leaving our hydraulic jack just there for added security. Alright, the first thing we'll do is pop off our center cap. Now these center caps have a little opening in them. So we're going to take us a screwdriver or a pry bar, gonna pop it in there, pop that off, and we got our 5 lugs. The next thing we're gonna do, these bolts are 19 millimeter or 3/4. So let's get our air gun over here, pop them off. And what you want to do is just set them down inside the cap here. You can see the cap? Take the thing off. See it? Yeah. Right? We'll pop our wheel off. Okay, Marquis, come over here and sit down. Use that to sit down on, so you can get a better good look at all this, what we're doing here. Alright guys, here's our inner tie rod right here, and here's our outer one. The first thing we want to do here is the big nut right here, we want to loosen that up. Let me see if this is the right size. Nope, looks like a 13/16. So let me go get the right wrench and we'll be right back. Alright guys, I got my 13/16 wrench, or you can use a 21 millimeter. And what you want to do, being that you're looking at this from the opposite way, you want to go look like you're tightening it from this side. Alright, so we're going to get our wrench up there. And this bolt going to be kind of tight. Okay, and that's all you want to do. Just loosen it just enough. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is over here, down in here, this is a castle nut right here that's holding this outer tie rod onto the spindle. But what we got to do, we have a cotter pin down here. You see the cotter pin right there. So what I'm going to do is take me a pair of wire snips. I could take a screwdriver. We'll bend that up a little bit. See how the cotter pin comes out of there. Turn it around. Pull that cotter pin out just like that. And let's see what size this is. Okay, you want to use a 13/16 or what I got here is a 21 millimeter deep impact socket. I'm gonna use my air gun. Go up here. Pop that castle nut right off. The reason why they call it like a castle nut, because if you put it down like that, it looks like the top of a castle. And if you play chess, it looks like a rook. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is we got to pop this tie rod out of here. Now, there's 2 ways of doing this. The first way I don't recommend unless you're going to change that outer tie rod. They got a tuning fork that goes right between there, and you hit the fork and it pops out. But doing that, you mess up that boot right there that holds that grease in there, so you don't want to do that. What we're going to use is a process called shock and awe. You take a nice size hammer, and we got our big mallet over here, our sledgehammer, and what we're going to do is hit right here on the spindle, and you hit that hard enough, and be careful with the backing plate also. You hit it hard enough that that will pop right out of there. So let me show you that. All right, I'm going to put the back out the way a little bit. Ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, so hit right here. And you can't be no baby tap. See, that don't work. You gotta hit it. Pop right out of there, just like that. Pop it out. Now you can turn your spindle either way you want, but you don't need to do that. The next thing we're gonna do is now, here's our outer tie rod. Just take our tie rod, unwind it. Take the tie rod off of the outer tie rod off of the inner tie rod. Now this time you can also check the condition of your outer tie rod. What you can do, now, let me get this thing off here first. All right, there's a joint inside of here. And a lot of times, see now if I can move that and it stays like that, that joint is good. If I was to wobble this thing, it's wobble all around, that joint is no good, and you're going to end up having to replace that. All right, so put that down. The next thing we're going to do is kind of important. What we're going to do is mark. We're going to have to mark this. So I'm going to get me a wire brush or something. Let me get me a wire brush, and I'll be right back. All right, guys, what I got me here is a wire brush. And what I want to do is just clean off these threads right here for a minute. I want to make sure I put the outer tie rod on the new tie rod exactly where this one goes. So I got me a little marker here. What I'm going to do is just mark around where the old one is. And I don't want to be cheesy with the paint. I want to make sure this thing marks good. It's kind of cold out here. So this thing is, there we go. All right, now that we got that, we can go ahead and take this nut off. Now, I ain't gonna sit here and do this by hand. I'm gonna go get my 21mm socket, and I might have to hold the inner tie rod. I'm gonna see, it might just spin right off. Perfect. All right, the next thing we're gonna do is we got a dust boot right here, and there's a clamp holding on that dust boot. So what I'm gonna do is take me some needle nose pliers, take the clamp, squeeze it, take the clamp right off. Perfect. The next thing I'll do, there's a clamp on the inner boot. So what I gotta do, I'm gonna take the string. Just look at this, guys. That thing is bad as anything. See, that's how. Now, if that outer tie rod did that, then I know I would have replaced that. This is bad. So I'm gonna turn the wheel all the way to the left so I can get to that. Turn the wheel. Hey, man. She ain't giving the keys. I need the keys. All right, guys, I'll be right back. Let me get the key. All right, guys, before I get the key, you know what? Let's take off this inner clamp right here. Let me get a light so we can see better. Now, the clamp, what I need to take off, the inside of that boot is right, this is a sucky position, right there. Can you see that? Yeah. All right, so we got to get that clamp off of there. Now, there's a couple ways of doing this. One, I'm going to try, and that's a metal clamp. Let's see if I can get this light to stay up. Oh, that's right, this thing is metal, so heck. No. See if I can get my cutters in here and grab it without grabbing the boot. Got a hole to it, but I don't have much room to squeeze it. And if I don't, I'm gonna just get a pry bar and a hammer and break it off. Yeah, that's a tight spot. All right, so let me see if I take my pry bar. Oops, sorry. And all right. What I'm gonna do is take my hammer and try to hit my pry bar and try to knock that clamp loose. I think it came off. All right, let's go back out here. And now what I want to do is see if this boot will come out. What I got to do is let me get a screwdriver, because I got to stick the screwdriver between the boot and the inner tie rod to break that seal. So let me get a screwdriver and I'll be right back. All right, got me a nice thin screwdriver. What I want to do is let's get that screwdriver stuck right in there like that. And what I'm gonna do here, take some WD-40, and while I got it open like that, put that WD-40 in there, work the screwdriver around to break that seal, and then start pulling that boot off. Now, remember, we got our mark up here on this tie rod, so we gotta be careful not to mess that up. So let's take our boot, pop it right off. Look at that, guys, perfect. And we left our mark right up there. Now, the next thing we're gonna do is, look at this joint. Look at this, that's messed up. The next thing we're gonna do, we have to turn the wheel. Now we gotta get the key and turn the wheel all the way to the left to bring that tie rod out here so we can get a wrench or something onto it. Let me get our light from under here. And let me go get the keys, and I'll be right back.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is our clamp off of it. What we're gonna do, instead of putting the clamp back on, we're gonna take and put a wire tire on it. Look at that. We'll be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. I got my wrench. I got a 1 7/16. And what I want to do is, I don't want to grab it like this, because if I don't want to punch the frame because you can't win. So you might want to take you a hammer, and beat it a little bit. So let's see.
No, man. You got one hand's got to hold.
Oh, so you might have to come right here.
Okay, let me get it. Switch up.
Ready?
Ho, man. Yeah, there we go. Pop loose?
Yeah.
All right. No, you don't need that no more. Take that out of there, man. Get that wrench out of there. Go ahead. Okay, Marquise, go ahead. Take it out. Okay, now watch, guys. He's gonna unscrew it. Why you ain't got no gloves on?
Fast.
And sometimes you can take it by the rod and see if the whole rod will say. See that right there?
Yeah.
I'll turn it like that. Okay, now Marquis showed them the difference in the loose, how loose that one is, and grab the new one.
All right, check this out. Show them.
Get up here, so.
All right, check it out. See, it's wobbling. Wobble.
Take it like that, and just.
You gotta wobble. If you wobble.
All right.
Then check out my new one.
See the new one, he can't move the joint at all. That thing is super tight. So the joint inside of there. Now I'm gonna hold it right here. Now Marquis, you go ahead and move that around. That won't move at all. But the other one got no problem at all moving. Now, before we, let's switch up a little bit. Oh, all right. Now what we're gonna do here, guys? We got our nut right here. I don't like the way that nut fits up there, man. That's like very loose, guys. I might use the original nut, because that one's kind of messed up. So what we're gonna do here, take that nut off, and what I'm gonna do now, I can actually, I can match it up and put a mark exactly where that one is. And remember, our nut went right before it. But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna actually sit here and take my fingernail and count. I'm gonna start from here and count the threads I go in. 1, 2, and I'm gonna count all the way down till I get to that mark. And then we're gonna do the same thing on the other one, all right? Be right back. All right, guys, I had counted 31 threads down to right there at the beginning. So next thing I'm gonna do right now is have my marker ready. I'm gonna count down to 31 on this one, and then I am going to mark it. All right, so now for me, take my gloves off to get ready to mark this thing. All right, I'm gonna count down, put the mark on, and I'll be right back. All right, guys, this is coming out perfect. Look at that. Got me marked at 31. And what I want to do is, where did we put that? Here it is. Now here's the original nut, and here's the new one. Look at that. That's a cheesy damn nut right there. I'm not gonna use that because this will also, if I use this one, it's also gonna throw off my alignment because I'm gonna go down. So I'm gonna go down to this one, which is further. So I'm not gonna do that. So what I'm gonna do is, yeah, I'm gonna use that one instead. Perfect. And I know the nut goes right down to there, and then I'll put our tie rod on. So you definitely want to pay attention to that also. All right, the next thing we're gonna do, here's our rack and pinion right there, in there. So what I'm gonna do is take my inner tie rod. There we go. Screw that. As you can see, when Marquise loosened this up, it didn't take much. He just took the hammer and hit it a couple times, so you ain't got to go crazy with this. So I'm gonna go up under here. Huh? What happened? Oh, you want to do it? Oh, okay, fine. All right, Marquise want to do it. All right. Man, you ain't even gonna need that, man. Them tools are clean.
Oh yeah, my bad.
All right, go ahead. You go.
You know, ask me.
Oh, we go on the other side. So. Oh, that's right. No, you went on the side. You're right. My bad. All right, let them know what you're doing, man.
All right, I'm tightening it back up, so I'm gonna put my wrench back on first. I might have to ask Mr. Tim for my advice. Should I use my hand or the handle?
Okay, funny.
What's going on? Alright. You don't want to go it up for me now, right?
Let me see that. All right. Guys, you're going to get right about here.
Oh.
And here we go. Okay, now right now, I just got it tightened just by my hand a little bit. So there you go. Now what you got to do is hold it right there, and then you got to take your hammer
and hit it. Good time.
Make sure that thing is nice and tight, guys. You ain't got to go Superman on it, but you got to make sure that's tight because you do not want that to back up or you in some world of trouble. And see, you on the other end. Remember, see over here? See this old one?
Yeah.
See, it grabs up here.
Oh,
try to grab it. They grab right about there.
Right. So I'm gonna come back about that.
Yeah, there you go. Stop playing, Marquis.
I ain't playing. Help me out one more time.
No, I ain't gonna help you out. You gotta learn, man. Go ahead, put that up there. There you go. Hey. See, there you go. Then make sure that's nice and tight. Oh yeah, we're good. All right, guys, we got that on. That is great. That is perfect. Nice and tight. Look at that. Look at it. He can't even. See how he tried to move. See how he moved that outer tie rod? See that? That's how you want your tie rod to be. You don't want to be like loose like the other one was. All right. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to turn this wheel all the way back to the right. Put our boot on. But first we're going to get us a wire tie. Marquis showed you about the wire tie. We're going to take that, pull that old clamp off there, Marquis. Good Marquis over here having a hard time with this. Marquis, hold the thing up, Marquis. Here, dig.
I don't want to do that.
You know what you do? Grab it by the little tab and pull it out.
Right here?
Yeah, and pull it out that way. There you go. See? All right. All right. So we'll be right back. All right, guys. Got my wire tie right here. This is just to hold in dust, guys. So you ain't gotta go crazy with that. Get our wire tie hooked up in there. Not gonna squeeze it all the way. Just about right there. And you notice there's a little bit of a hole right here. Let me see the camera for 1 second. And what you want to do here is line it up right with that little port right there. All right. So here you go. All right. So what I'm gonna do is bring this down a little bit, and I want to make sure my wire tie is in a position where I can easily get to it and tighten it up. You know what? I think I'm gonna flip my right here. I'm gonna flip this around because I think it's gonna be easier for me to get to it like this. All right. So let's go down in here. Put it on into the boot. All right, let me get in there to make sure. You're gonna move over a little bit. Oh, where's our light at? Oh, I said, where's our light at? And I'm holding the light in my hand, man. That's all. All right, let me get right here, guys. And, let me see where our boot is. There we go. Look at that, guys. You see that? It's on. And my wire tie is right there. So what I want to do here is get my wire tie right here. And then I'm going to tighten it up. Huh?
It's right here. It's going down.
Huh?
It's blinking.
Dang it, man. All right. The battery's going dead, so hopefully let me finish up this part right here. Who's our... Get my needle nose right here.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. See, what I want to do next is I'm put my clamp on, so I want to push my boot up to about right here, you know, so I can put my clamp on. So,
hold on, let me get it. Okay.
Ready? I want to put it on partial though before I grab. You know my.
I can't see them.
My bad.
Is it up there? Is it clipped on into place? Oh no, hold. Right about there. Right about. Let it up a little bit. Let the boot go. I got the boot. All right. Go ahead.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? I want to put it on partial so it won't pop back off. So if I use these, so it won't pop back off and hit me in my face.
Oh man.
This can't be right. There we go.
You say you got, oh, I got the keys. I'll be back with that water hose, okay?
Okay. Put that on a little bit more.
Take your time.
Perfect. All right. There we go, guys. Look at that. That is perfect. The next thing Marquis going to do is take the nut, and he's going to put the nut, yeah, that one, all the way on till it stops. Right there at our mark. He stopped playing around.
No, that's the glove. Too thick.
Yeah. All right, he's going to bring that up to the line, and we'll be right back. All right, we're back. He's almost there. Let me go in on this. Yeah. Give me back a little bit more. More. No. Yeah, keep going. Stop right there. All right, so we're right at our mark. That is perfect. The next thing we're going to do is install the outer tie rod. And then we're going to go back until it just touches the nut. And then we're going to back off a little bit. This is somewhere down here. Where is it? There it is right there. All right, and we'll be right back.
All right, so what I'm be doing, be putting the inner tie rod on. Putting our tie rod on. So what I want to do is put it back there until it touch the nut. You said out.
You said put our new inner tie rod on.
I mean,
you said put out. Yeah, I know what you meant. All right, stop right there. Now, we'll stop right there. That's perfect because now our outer tie rod is facing down, and that's how it's got to go into the spindle. And our nut is just enough, just like I took it off, just to loosen up. So we're great. All right, so when we come back, we're gonna go ahead and put that right up in there, tighten the castle nut up, put the cotter pin in, and we'll be good to go. We'll be right back. All right, guys, the next thing we're gonna do is get our outer tie rod into our spindle. Now and this is cool. Look how tight this is, guys. I can put that up there and hold it right in place. Now, take notice that the stud on this tie rod has a hole in it. You see the hole in there? Now, what that does is, once we put our castle nut on there and tighten it up, we got to make sure one of those slots right there will line up with that hole so we can put our cotter pin in. All right, so let's turn our spindle over here. Get that. And also, check this out. Good important thing. The stud right here is made, it's not a straight stud. This part down here is small, then it widens up as it gets to the top. And that's how it's made inside the spindle. So when you tighten up the nut, it's gonna keep it nice and secure in there. So let's get our thing into there, like that. Let's get our castle nut up here. And pay attention that the hole to it is right there. So, next thing we do, get my 21mm deep socket. Go ahead and tighten that up. And sometimes you might have to just hold a little bit of pressure toward the top. Perfect. Now I can see right now that hole is off a little bit, so I will never be able to get a cotter pin in there. So what I do is just put that up there, and after a while you get used to it. It's good to do this by hand right now so you can line it up perfectly, but we're doing this so long, I do it just like that, get it locked right in there, get it lined right up. The next thing we're gonna do is grab our cotter pin, wherever it may be. Heck, our cotter pin at? You know, guys, I ain't gonna sit here and look for no cotter pin. So what I'm gonna do is just go get a new one. Be right back. All right, guys, got me a new cotter pin. Forget that. Stick the cotter pin between there. Bend the tab back to lock it into place. Perfect. All right, the next thing we're gonna do is come from under here, grab our tools and all. Okay, we're gonna grab our tire. Put our tire on. Put the lug nuts on. And the reason why I'm showing you this, because this is very important when you go to tighten these lugs up. When you tighten the lugs up on your wheel, you want to make sure you go into like a star pattern. And that way the wheel goes on evenly. If you tighten it up like this, it might get hung up on the hub or something and the wheel's going to be lopsided and you're going down the road, it's going to shake like crazy. So let's get our socket. 19mm or 3/4. First you want to do is bring the other one in just a little bit, just to line up everything, and then we're going to go tighten them up. Perfect. Get our center cap. It's got these three things right here, the clamps that holds onto the lug nuts. We'll line them up. Pop it on. Look at that, guys. That wheel is, look at that. Now watch when I shake this wheel. See the other wheel over there? No, matter of fact, go down right there so you can watch both things. Now when I shake this one, the least little I shake this one, that other one's moving. There we go. Before, this thing was wobbling like crazy.